Solo quería decir un par de palabras. Eso no sería posible sin el apoyo de nuestra organización, the Cannabis Cultural Association. My co-founder Jake is right here. Our board president was here, Amanda. Me and this guy traveled around the East Coast last year with me in crutches, networking and making this happen. Can't tell you how much fun that was and how much work we put in, from protesting at the DNC rallies to speaking in DC. Would not be able to do this without my homie Jake here. So another shout out from boy Jake. Ronnie Soto back there. Y quiero dar un especial agradecimiento a mis papás que están aquí atrás. I'm very fortunate my parents support me in this as a first generation Latino. Cannabis es algo que muchas familias ven como malo, del diablo. Desafortunadamente la iglesia aún no está en nuestro favor y tenemos que atraer a los abuelitos, las tías y tíos que vengan y aprenden más. Tenemos que comenzar a educarles para que vengan a este tipo de cosas y se involucren en esto. Y eso es por eso estamos aquí. Estamos para educar a la comunidad y hacer que todas las edades se beneficien de esto. Y no solo, yo sé que hemos hablado de economía, sobre vender la planta, sobre los productos y las pólizas tienen que cambiar, pero alguien que ya puede ganar desde una y que ahorita ya está ganando un montón de esto son los negocios pequeños, las bodegas, las panaderías, los restaurantes pequeños, o como a mí me gusta decir, los huecos. Porque los huecos ahorita son que pueden beneficiar más de esto. Porque si vemos Colorado como ejemplo, el 15% de negocios alrededor de 2 millas, que son de restaurantes, panaderías, todo eso, vieron unas ventas increíbles. You know, we talk a lot about the cannabis business and everything they can bring in, but it's the ancillary side which doesn't get enough shout-outs. Your local little stores, your bakeries, these are the ones that are going to be seeing crazy profits, as we've seen in Colorado and all the other legal states. When cannabis is nearby, da hambre. Let's be honest. But it's not just about that. We're seeing it with yoga, with a ton of different activities. Y es importante tener eso en mente, porque si no todos van a querer sembrar y vender productos así, pero siempre pues, podemos complementar algo similar. Vemos con comedia y todo. Pero antes de combinar eso, voy a traer una persona más. Comenzamos el día con unas palabras de un veterano, porque la comunidad de veteranos es que más necesita este apoyo ahorita. 22 veterans kill themselves a day, and it's unfortunate that cannabis, which is shown to help veterans, still isn't eligible to them. Veterans can lose their VA benefits, their disability benefits. These gentlemen, these are our heroes. They're out there risking their lives to defend us, defend our country. And unfortunately, when they come back, our government has taken a turn against them when it comes to this issue. So last but not least, let me bring out Marcel Bridgewater, veteran advocate, New Jersey native. Pleasure to have him here. He's going to speak to you in English, and I'll try to do my best I can to translate for him. But Marcel, thank you, brother.
No problem, no problem. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. How are you?
Good.
All right. My name's Leo Bridgewater. Everyone calls me Marcel. I was born and raised in Trenton, New Jersey. Graduated high school in 1994. I date myself here. The thing is that I just returned back to Jersey maybe 2 years ago. My mom passed away, and that's what brought me home. And when I came home, I realized that, that was the 4th time I'd been home in over 20 some odd years. I've done multiple tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. I was there during the initial ground invasion, and I went back to do the NATO training mission in Iraq, where we trained the new Iraqi army. I worked under General David Petraeus and Admiral Mike Mullins. At the time, I was there I was able to see the Iraqi people vote for the first time. I was there to see the Transitional National Assembly take their seats. I was there to see the Iraqi people take control of their own destiny and rebuild the country from the ground up. And I will tell you, the biggest lesson that I learned is that it's so much easier to bring down the government than it is to actually run one. And I used to pray every day that I was thankful that I didn't have to make a lot of the decisions that a lot of the generals had to make, because those were some real decisions. Like, people really died based on, lived or died based on their word. And so understanding the magnitude of where I was in time at the time, I come back to New Jersey and I see the same thing. I see the opioid abuse and addiction epidemic that has taken over our state, because I'm wondering what the hell happened. Now, I live in Trenton, New Jersey. Trenton, New Jersey is only 7.2 square miles, and we have 13 pharmacies in a 7.2 square mile radius. Okay, not to mention the ones that are in the suburbs surrounding the city, and not to mention the ones, that's inside the grocery stores. Okay, there's Rite Aid, CVS's, and then some new type of pharmacy that's local to the city of Trenton. And you have 13 in a 7.2 square mile radius, and there's an opioid abuse and addiction epidemic. Okay, something's up. It doesn't take a genius, and I know you guys see it too. The other night we had four teenagers shot. One was shot in the head and he died. And they're passing those pills out like it's candy at the VA. See, things, for the first time in history, I think the general public and veterans are in the same category. We're aligned as far as what our issues are. I'm actually one of the veterans that testified in Senate committee to have PTSD added to our state's medical marijuana program. Last September, Governor Christie signed the bill into law. Reluctantly. Now, with all the advocating work that I've been doing in the last year and a half, and talking with folks and meeting with potential investors and everything like that, the one thing that I've learned is that now it is incumbent upon us to make sure that we take our seat at the table to the industry. Mm-hmm. Black and brown people and women are the most underrepresented demographic in this industry. That's a historical fact. Okay? Now, we missed the boat as a people. We missed the boat with the hair industry. Mm-hmm. We missed the boat when it came to the .com industry. We missed the boat when it came to the real estate industry. Are we really going to miss the boat when it comes to this industry? This is the one that was built on our backs in our lifetime. When I was young, my mom used to make us watch a show called Eyes on the Prize. It's an old show. Used to tell you about, the civil rights movement and show you how they used to, spray the people with hoses and let loose the dogs and all that stuff. Sound a little familiar, don't it? Is this not our eyes on the prize moment? The men and women of the United States military make up less than 1% of the total population. And we do 100% of all the fighting. And with today's climate, what I'm learning, my experience of being inside the State House, is that because I'm a veteran, when I'm talking to these lawmakers, see, they talk to me different than they talk to you. It's just different. I can't really put my finger on it, but I just know that it's just different. And because of that, and it's with that difference, is why I'm able to at least come back and say to the people, you know what, something's up, y'all. What we gonna do? What are we gonna do? This is a historic moment in time. And we need to recognize where we are. There will never, ever be another beginning of the end of prohibition on cannabis in New Jersey again. There our children who are not even here yet won't even begin to understand what today was like. And what did you do today? How were we able to now understand something? Remember I told y'all a funny moment in time? This is 2017. And in 2017, did you know that there are only 2 states holding gubernatorial races in the United States? New Jersey and Virginia. That's it. We're the only 2 states. So if you are, whatever your political affiliation may be, depending on what we do as a state will tell you how much work your party has to do. And in New Jersey, there are a lot of municipalities picking new mayors, new city councils, you know. In the city of Trenton, we're picking a new mayor next summer, June. So that means that there will be 3 elections in the next 9 years. One in June, another 4 years from then, and another 4 years from then. So we could easily make this look like, we could easily take charge by first registering to vote, getting out there and actually voting, and voting for our interests. Because at this point, see, they think we're dealing with people who are not evolved in their way of thinking to move us forward. They still use words like gateway drug, and what you doing smoking that dope? You know, and I try to tell people, whenever I hear someone use those words to the trained ear, I already know how much you know and how much you don't know. And if you're still using those words, people like Jeff Sessions, things that they're saying, you know, we're at the point now where I'm learning that the general public generally trusts the word of a veteran now before they trust the word of a politician. That's how perverted it is. And so what you should do is you should see this as, I hope you see this, me talking to you, is that my message transcends gender, race. My message is about, because to me, we all black once the lights go out. You know, I mean, hey, you know. So for me, this is about getting the word out. This is a return on investment for you. You paid $12 million to educate me. You did. Your taxes paid for my training, my education, and all the things that I've done. You paid for that. So what this is a little more return on investment. I hope that this message is something that you will take home and talk about to the people who were not here. Because the first step in changing things is we have to make ourselves known. And the way we do that is we get out and we register folks and we get them out to vote. And we make it well known what it is that we want, because it's about time for our politics to start making sense. Thank you all for having me, and thank you for allowing me to speak to you. If you need to find me, you can get in touch with Ronnie Soto, Nelson, and Grizzly, and Jake, and Tiana. And thank you all. Please have a good rest of the evening.
And we just want a couple more shout outs. I'm gonna bring Ronnie out, the other media pro, for the reason why we were able to do this and why we're gonna be able to put this online for you in a couple weeks, is my main man Grizzly right here. Grizzly, stand up for us. Always on the campus for us. He's from a rebel-minded society, another great organization, always doing work in the cannabis space and all the other spaces, always highlighting people in a rebel-minded media, which is so grateful to come here and do all this media stuff for us. Pero antes que le pase a Ronnie, tengo que decir una cosa más. Arizona sería un estado legal para cannabis si la gente latina se iba a votar. Solo 18% en total serían votar. Arizona didn't go legal by a few percentage. That's because the Latin vote didn't come out and vote. And that's going to be the same for any other state that gives the opportunity. That's why it's so important to register and vote for not only your state politics, your local politics, and it's just not about the big one when it comes to presidential race. Anytime these issues come up, it's tan importante votar. Ronnie, I'm going to pass off the mic.